Hi, my name's Rohan Weerasinghe, and I'd like to first of all welcome you and thank you for listening. And for the next 4 or 5 minutes, I'll be talking to you briefly about a talk that's coming up called Overcoming Fear and Dealing with Fear. I've been very privileged for the last 10 to 15 years to speak in the world of personal development and wealth on areas such as health, relationships. I teach people on the stock market, on the property market, and the thousands and thousands of people that I've taught through that decade and a half, one thing I've learned is that fear shows up in many ways. So one of the questions I'm going to throw to you now as you're watching this is, what have you avoided doing in the past because you were too nervous to do it, or because a fear showed up, or something came up, an excuse, maybe a story that you told yourself that stopped you doing it? Because usually that's driven by fear. When somebody comes up to me in a seminar, I'm talking about property and stocks, and they say, what about the stock market? What if it goes down? Which, by the way, is a way to make money. Or what if the property markets drop? Or what if I lose money? These are messages of fear. And the important thing is to understand where that fear comes from, and then to remove it and replace it with something much more powerful. I've dealt with people who have lost $3 million in the stock market. I've dealt with people that have lost £1. And interestingly enough, the people that have lost the bigger amounts of money, if they understand why and they understand how to deal with that issue, they become infinitely more powerful in terms of their ability to negotiate and deal with situations than somebody that's not experienced that. So understand first of all that fear is actually healthy, because it's your body's way of saying this is something that doesn't feel right. But that doesn't mean to say that it is good for you. It's healthy in the sense that it's a warning signal, but we need to know how to deal with it. So another question for you. If you know what fears have held you back, what could you have achieved had you overcome those fears? Where would you be in your life now had you overcome those fears and stepped through into a completely different place? My goal is to give you some really powerful tools to do that. I'm excited because I'm hoping during the course of that event we can deal with a couple of people that maybe have some fears. We'll talk to them, and I'll ask you to share with me what you think common fears that people have, because we develop all the fears that we have from birth, and if we can develop them, then we can remove them. I've worked with people, one lady who was raped from an early age, and she was challenged because she was raped from somebody within her family, and she had a fear of relationships. We overcame that together, and she was able to go on and have a healthy relationship with somebody after that. And this lady was in her 60s. I've dealt with people who have financial challenges. I've seen people have fear of being committed in a relationship. Don't carry these fears any longer if you've got those. And in fact, even if these fears are tiny, like maybe it's just something that stops you progressing in your job, there are certain patterns, visualization tools, there are internal tools that you can use to overcome fear. So my goal is to give you a series of tools that will help you move forward in that respect. So hopefully, if you're watching this and you understand the message I'm giving, the first message is, whatever it is that's holding you back in any area of your life, it's probably stemming from a basic foundation of a fear. Let's deal with the fear and understand what it is, and let's replace it with something that's going to absolutely motivate you to move forward. Because I can tell you now, if you had a strong enough reason, possibly saving somebody's life, maybe somebody in your family's life, if you had a strong enough reason, any fear that steps up, boom, you would just break through it. So my goal is to get you through that process. So we're going to have a great time. Come along, bring a journal. I would suggest, in fact, if you do come along, write down just one fear to start with that you know has held you back. And secondly, write down what you have missed out on as a result of that fear being a block to you. Bring it along with you, and my goal is to help you overcome that. So my name is Rohan Weerasinghe. Very much looking forward to meeting with you. We're going to have a great evening. Speak to you soon. Take care.